The January round of fixtures has ended, so it's time to take a look at my predictions, see if I got any of the games right, which ones I got wrong, and see how much difference the January fixtures has made on the league table. Make sure you subscribe to the channel to keep up to date with my latest content. There'll be a preview video for the Charlton game on Saturday, coming out on Thursday evening, so make sure you're tuned into the channel for that. There'll also be a predictions video coming out tomorrow for the February set of fixtures, so you've got all that to look forward to. Let's now take a look and review the predictions I made in January for that round of fixtures, and we'll see what truly happened. So you look here at the table from when I made the prediction video. Obviously you see that Derby sit in 4th place on 46 points. At that point in time, they were 7 points behind Portsmouth. They were a 5 behind Bolton and 3 behind Peterborough. And it looked like an easy group of fixtures to manage, essentially, in my opinion. It looked like a month where we'd pick up a fair few points and there wouldn't be much of a struggle. But shall we now take a look into each game? And first, we're going to take a look at the Fleetwood game. Here's the prediction that I made before. Things right. Fleetwood currently sit 24th in the league table, and I think we've got to go out there, put on a really good performance, and hopefully come away with a 3-0 win. That is what I'm predicting. I think 3-0. I predicted that we'd beat Fleetwood 3-0. Originally, I knew this game was going to be a tough game, but I thought it would be a lot easier than the result actually turned out to be. And I don't think a 3-1 win was a fair result for Fleetwood. I thought they were really good on the day. Obviously, sitting bottom of the table. I believe they're still bottom of the table now. But we came away with all 3 points, and that was what mattered in the end. But it was a game of poor performances, in my opinion. We looked a bit shaky, so it's something which I've mentioned a lot this month, and it felt like Peterborough was the turning point of our performances. We'd gone from playing really well to struggling to keep the ball, losing our men in midfield, and just looking a bit leggy, a bit tired. So the next game which occurred was Bradford in the EFL Trophy. We'll take a look at what I predicted for that game. I'm predicting that Derby will win this game 2-1 at home. So, as you can see, in the EFL Trophy, Bristol Street Motors Trophy, whatever you want to call it, I predicted that Derby would win 2-0. Looking at Bradford City, they're mid-table in League 2, they were at the time, and I just couldn't see a way that Derby lost. We made a range of changes in that game, which I was expecting, but the players that came in just didn't fill anybody with any real confidence. And I was sat in the stands that night and I was truly baffled by the performance that I was seeing. And in all fairness, it led from the Peterborough game, which I thought was a poor performance, the Fleetwood game, another poor performance, but coming away with the result. And then in this game, we got found out, in my opinion. We couldn't get the ball in the back of the net. We didn't really create many half decent chances, and we just looked like a bang average side on the night. So Bradford rightfully went through. Next up was the game against Burton Albion at home. Shall we take a look at what I predicted for that game? I said earlier about going down to Burton and what it says on the screen here with it being away. I personally think, again, we still need to win the game. I think 2-1. I think a 2-1. Burton Albion at the time had been struggling. They'd recently had Gary Mills as caretaker manager, but he was replaced by Martin Patterson, I think his name is, a couple of days before the game. I predicted that Derby would win the game 2-1, with it being, well, their local derby. I don't see it as a local derby, but with it being considered a local derby, I thought it'd be a tough game. Form sort of goes out the window. They were sitting 19th when I made this prediction video. We came away with a 3-2 win, but something common in all our January fixtures is it's another game where if Burton had come away with a win or even a point, I don't think we could have complained, because for 50 minutes we were the better side, but then we spent 40 odd minutes where we were just messing about. We just weren't good enough, in my opinion, and we were really lucky to come away with a 3-2 win. Conor Hourihane striking late on in the game. Next up was a game against Lincoln City away from home. Shall we take a look at what I predicted for that game? The next one is Lincoln City. We head to Lincoln City, who currently sit 11th. They sat 9th the last time we played them. Let's hope that we can pick up another win. I'm predicting this time that we're going to win 2-1. No, I'm not actually. I'm predicting that we're going to win. I predicted a 2-0 win away at Lincoln. We played them in December, and in my opinion, we battered them. But we came to this game, and it says 0-0 win, apologies. And into this game, we just weren't good enough. Cashin got ran ragged by Joe Taylor. If he could finish, he'd be a real problem, because we'd have lost 4-5-0, in my opinion, because he absolutely battered us. Could have had a hat-trick just by just going off the shoulder of Cashin, and we just weren't good enough on the day. And I think I've said that for every single game this month. We just aren't good enough at the moment. But we've come away with some wins. We picked up another point with Lincoln City. Let's take a look into the Reading game and what I predicted for that. I think we've got to win this game. I think we've got to go all out, and I think we've got to win 3-0. I predicted playing Reading that we'd win 3-0. I did talk about in my video that playing Reading is one of our bogey teams. I said it was like a bogey team. It's a game where when we need to win, we never come away from the game with a win. It never seems to happen. And again, on the night, we were awful. We were genuinely really poor, in my opinion. Didn't create a lot. Obviously, we eventually lost John Jules in like the final couple of moments of the game to a hamstring injury, which is obviously not what you want a few days after he'd just signed an extension till the end of the season. But we lost 1-0, and I thought that this was the time that we'd put that to rest with Reading, that we'd come away with a win when we needed one. It was an opportunity to go top, but we failed to convert for the third time this season of having the opportunity to go into the automatic places, and we fumble. Let's take a look into the final game of the month, which was Cheltenham, which we played on Saturday. Let's take a look at what I predicted. I think we're going to win 3-0. I think it's going to be another 3-0. We've got to make sure we put our best foot forward, especially against them teams down in the bottom. Could be a potential banana skin. Yet again, I predicted a 3-0 win. It was the theme this month for my predictions. I thought we're going to beat everybody 3-0. We was on some really good form heading into this month. Barring the Peterborough game, I thought we were doing really well. And obviously we faced Cheltenham, who sat 23rd in the table when I made the predictions. And we came away with a 2-1 win, but that doesn't tell the full story. We were pinned back for the majority of the first half and the start of the second half by a Cheltenham side, which, don't get me wrong, have been picking up points recently, but that we shouldn't be getting treated like that by Cheltenham. They've had some good results against Pompey and Bolton recently, but the way we played just wasn't good enough. If we want to win promotion in this league, we can't be performing like that. Yes, we came away with all 3 points, but playing any better team would put us, in my opinion, into a losing game for me. If it wasn't Cheltenham, I don't think we'd have come away with anything from the game, but it was 2 moments of magic, a brilliant free kick from Max Bird, and an excellent cross and finish by James Collins and Nathaniel Mendez-Lang. Let's now take a look into the league table and see where we are 6-7 games down the line. So here is the league table. Obviously, as you can see, Derby are still sitting in 4th place. Despite having the opportunity to go top against Reading, they didn't take it, and they're sitting 4th in the league. But Derby gained the most points out of the top 6 in the previous 7 games. Obviously, Bolton have 2 games in hand, and Peterborough have a game in hand. But we collected 3 more points than Peterborough. We collected 4 more points than Bolton and Portsmouth, and we also collected 1 more point than Barnsley. But it's time for crunch time, in my opinion. The February bunch of fixtures is going to be massively important. So it's crunch time, in my opinion. The February fixtures are going to be really important. Derby are on their wobble, in my opinion, and it usually stretches through the month of February and into March. Do I think Derby can get promoted this season? Absolutely, but I do think we need to bring in some new bodies up front and maybe an extra body in midfield. So let me know how you got on predicting the January games. We'll be predicting the February games in my next video. So make sure you've liked, commented and subscribed so you can stay all up to date with all my content, and you'll see that tomorrow. So I'll catch you in the next video. Make sure to go and find me on TikTok, pictured here, and Twitter, pictured here. These are the places where I'll keep you all up to date with all my upcoming videos and my thoughts and feelings around the Formula 1 and football weekend.